everyone, happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a wonderful day, okay? I think today's throw is great. I think that, there we go. Okay, we come in with the 9 of Cups, right, which is the wish card. And in here, I really do think it's that, okay? I'll touch on the other aspect of it too, but I think, you know, we come in with the energy of the 9 of Cups, right? So make a wish, because that's your wishes fulfilled card. Like, life is great at this point, right? Because you know what you truly value, right? But let's get through the cards and then I'll go into that. We come in with the Knave of Coins. We've got the King of Coins. And our outbound card is the 6 of Cups. Okay, I pulled a clarifier for the Knave of Coins and the King of Coins, because that can go so many different ways, okay? And the clarifier that we got was the 7 of Coins. So, as you can see, we have cups and coins. We are missing wands and swords, okay? So we're missing air and we're missing fire from here. These two coins and cups, they're friendly, right? They don't fight. They're passive though, right? So we need to stay on our game here. We don't want to fall asleep at the wheel here, okay? The 9 of Cups is the wish card, like you say, right? It's our wishes fulfilled because we know the things in our lives that we truly value, right? Money isn't just for acquiring money's sake, right? It's what does it afford you? It affords you freedom, right? Vacations, downtime, family time. We're not trying to, you know, be wired for everything under the sun because we need to be, because now we are in debt and we have no choice but to work. So life isn't really, that's not the 9 of Cups. That's when we've kind of used the 9 of Cups as an overindulgence, and we've worked really hard, we've spent all of our money, and now we're working to recoup it. We don't want to do that, and I don't think that that's what today's throw is about anyway, okay? But what I want to say is here, we are missing wands, right? Our passions, our desires, the fuel behind what we need to do to get where we're going, right? When we're missing that, our relationships we're kind of chilly, so to speak, right? That's when you'll notice too, we've got poor circulation. Our hands are cold, our knees are cold, our feet are cold, right? But that's also when we become afraid to express ourselves, right? Our talents, and we're easily intimidated, right? And we're lacking air, right? That's when our thoughts aren't really where they're supposed to be. We become excessive talkers, right? Fast, irregular. People can't keep up with us. We're all over the board, right? It's when, you know, our hands shake and our breathing is so intense, and we'll be sitting in a conversation and we'll notice that we've been holding our breath, right? We all have done that at, at some point, all right? Okay. That's when we start living in the head too, right? We get caught away with ourselves. So we just want to be conscious. We're not, we're missing those elements, but I don't think that this is a problem here. Okay. Now, again, we come in with the Knave of Coins. He's not the Page of Coins. There's a difference between that and the Knave. The Page of Coins is a younger version, right? It's a young person that, still lives at home, is clearly just needs to be provided for by their parents still. A Knave is not. That's someone, younger, doesn't have a lot of life experience under them. They're at that point in life where they've really figured out how certain things can be manipulated. Their moral compass isn't always in the right place. They're still learning the layout of the land, right? So they're not above doing things that are not ethical, right? To get ahead, you've got to learn that to really know to not do that. And that's the only reason that I'm pulling this out there, because when we have two court cards of the same suit, it's usually two people in the same family. It could be two versions of yourself, right? No one person is one person. We all have different sides, right? I know me personally, when Lilith tramples through my sun house, I can't be within a 100-mile radius of a shoe store, or I just, I lose my mind. So, and that's not normally something I do, right? But there's certain parts of us You know, sometimes we all overindulge sometimes. So that's the only reason I'm throwing that bit of loveliness out there. Because the Knave of Coins is, this is someone, you know, he shows up here too, to bring out your childlike qualities. And again, we're missing that air and the wands, right? So you want to not get stuck in, like I say, being reckless in the way that you're trying to do something. You don't want to leave carnage. You don't want to run over people to get where you're going, right? That never ends well. Okay, but you've got young energy and you've got experienced energy here. So you're balanced, though, with the Seven of Coins, because that Seven of Coins is Saturn and Taurus. That shows you how to work within. Saturn's about restrictions, right? So much more boundaries than restrictions, right? But you know, things may not go as fast as you want them to go, but that's okay, right? Saturn is showing you how to go slow and steady. Slow and steady gets the worm, right? With anything. So that's Saturn and Taurus, okay? That's, you know, you're pulling on the past here to kind of balance the two, right? That's the clarifier here. So where we're coming in with the page, right? Be open to new experiences, but do them in an ethical way, right? Be open to possibilities. Be willing to take risks, right? Managed risks, not, you know, trampling the village to get where you want to go, right? No reckless pursuits, I guess, is where I'm going with that, all right? Be open to learning new things, too. Remember, with these missing elements, you may be shut down and stuck to the, you know, only one way of doing things. Be open to what other people have to say, right? Work hard in an orderly way, all right? Build a solid foundation here. And remember, that Tower card comes in and clears the lot when we've done things that are from the ego, right? When we've trampled over everyone else, or we've not taken real responsibility, or we've overindulged, that's when that Nine of Cups becomes a disaster, right? So we just want to be cognizant of that, all right? We've got the King of Coins in here. This is someone who, he's, you know, he knows the way of the world, right? This is someone who's patient, willpower, understanding. That's what drives him, okay? That's how he knows what he's doing. He's also very aware of you need your health to do these things, right? You need clear thinking. This is someone who is very, he just knows how the world works, basically, okay? They works hard to achieve, you know, the stability in your life, which is where the Six of Cups is coming from on the outbound here, okay? Stability, though, too, in finance, in health, in emotions, right? In your home life. With, though, too, like I say, everyone's got two sides. You've got to watch that you don't become so focused on your goals, right? That other parts of your life take a hit here. Now, the clarifying card where I was going with this is, this is Saturn and Taurus. Taurus rules the second house, right? Which also shows up in Scorpio, which is what the Six of Cups is, ironically. Okay, so with the clarifier here, the whole situation that's going on in the outcome card here, you want to watch that Taurus is, they need a strong structure in their life, right? They're trying to build security, is where they're really camped out. And they're slow and steady. They're not someone normally to, you know, blow through the village. They like the lists, unlike Aries, right? Like they want to put it on a list. They want to see how it's going to work. They want to do it that way, which is wonderful, okay? But where was I going with this? With the Seven of Coins, you want to really look at, this is a card of where have I been and where am I going, right? Was where I was fulfilling, right? Do we stay on this path? Do we need to course correct? Do we go in a different direction? Do we see any new avenues here? Could something else be more fulfilling, etc.? That's where I'm going with that. But the negative side to this coin too, and again, we're missing the elements here, so this can very, very easily happen without air and without swords. I'm sorry, without air and without fire, okay? Be mindful to not get caught up in past setbacks, okay? Taurus has, they're their own worst enemy, right? The security and value that they're looking for on the outside is so important to them because they usually lack it on the inside, right? So that's why I'm saying they're their own worst enemies. They will beat themselves to death over one little thing that didn't go correctly, and they'll throw themselves right under the bus. So you want to be really mindful of that, okay? Everyone has setbacks. That's how we learn, right? And I think I had mentioned one time in a video that a lot of big financial backers won't back a company until they've failed at least 3 times, because they want to see how resilient that company really is. Do they get back on their feet, or do they wallow in their losses, right? So I don't know, I'm throwing all these stories out at you today, but I just want you something, to know that everybody goes through this. So when we do things that don't always work out how we want them to be, give yourself a break. We learn by our failures. Nobody is perfect the first time out of the gate. We all suck at something until we're good at it. It's just the way that it goes, right? So cut yourself some slack, be mindful, don't get caught up in past setbacks, okay, so that you become stubborn and inflexible, okay. Also watch out for being too disciplined, right, or being too undisciplined. Fear, failure, that can paralyze you. And then nothing gets done, right? And that's sometimes what happens is with Taurus too. They a lot of times they're like Aries too. They start a bunch of different things, but then one thing goes awry and they go and they get into something else. Nothing ever gets done. And I think that was one of your messages either last month or the month before, was to just bring something to conclusion, right? Bring something to conclusion, even if it's not gone the way that you wanted. You've still got to bring it to closure, because that psychologically does something to you and to your mechanisms and to how you do things and how you go through life. And I'm going to show that to you right now, okay? Because Taurus is the 2nd house, right? Scorpio, which is the 6 of Cups, is the 8th house, okay? I'm going to explain these in a little bit of a different way here, okay? Because the 2nd house is all the things that support us physically, right? Our body, our life path, food, money, actually vitamins too. That again goes back to health, right? And it's death too, okay? It's responsibilities, because if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't have, proper food, proper nutrition, our body fails, we can't afford the things that we need to take care of ourselves, right? A place to live, shelter, food, clothing, all of that, and self-value. Okay, this house also is about family and friends, okay? Now, we go over to Scorpio, okay, which is, again, I'm going to explain this a little bit of a different way. It's about our psychology. How do we handle upsets in our life? How do we handle chronic disease, right? How do we handle battles, things that don't go right, setbacks, infidelity, cheating, right? Court cases, inheritance, right? Things like that, okay? What I want to say here about this is we've got Saturn in Taurus, okay? That's about restrictions. And Sun in Scorpio is about your desires, okay? With the 6 of Cups on the outbound, that's a card of, yes, you're working really hard, the value. The King of Cups, the King of Coins, he knows the value of the people in his life. He knows his value. He knows the value of value, right? He knows the value of family. He's also someone that would help someone else out, but not at the expense of himself. He's worked very, very hard for his life, and it's not in a cocky way. It's just to secure the things in his life that are of value, right? And without money, let's be honest, you can't, have downtime. You're kind of at the expense of someone else. So you don't have the freedom in life to enjoy the things that, to go slow. You don't need to be wired for sound every moment of the day. You can actually, enjoy the things that you worked for. With the 6 of Coins, okay, on the outbound, and the energy coming in with the 9 of Cups, okay, and we're missing the air element and the fire element. I just want to say this, okay? And given that we've got Taurus and Scorpio in the mix here, we want to be, excuse me. All right. Oh, I apologize. This, with the Six of Cups, I just want to say here, you need to be in touch with, you know, your childlike innocence here, which is also what, you know, the King of Cups, the King of Coins, and the Knave of Coins speak of, all right? Those can be two sides of yourself. You want to be diligent and have your goals, but you want to be, you know, you want to bring some innocence to it. You want to be open to new ways of thinking without, you know, irrational ways of doing things. And the Seven of Coins is just telling you, go slow and steady. Really look at things inch by inch, right? Because if we don't, what happens here is we acquire finance, right? But we also end up with that Five of Coins card, right? When we're losing our houses because we've overindulged. That's the rags to riches with the winning the lotto and then ending up in bankruptcy, right? You want to have the balance of, you know, spirituality, and you want to be able to ground that on the tangible, right? Because sevens are a mystic number, which means they're going to come with a spiritual lesson, but it's going to show up on the tangible plane, right? Seven is a card of really just taking it slow, being patient, using what you've got now to propel you forward, but choose wisely, okay? With the Six of Coins, or Six of Cups, if we take this on the home front or to a relationship, right, this is not wanting to play with other people's emotions, right? If you're in a relationship or just starting in a relationship, make sure that the two of you are on the same page, right? Otherwise, this just isn't going to work. Because if it's a new relationship, it's a new stage in a relationship, right? There's no serious commitments yet. All right. To achieve this, you both need to be on the same page. You know, do we take this further? Do we leave it be? What do we do with it? There's action in that Six of Cups with that kind of relationship, okay? If it's an established relationship, it's how do we make it better, right? And that's, again, where financial gain comes in. And you've done it with the energy of the Nine of Cups, which means that you've got this. You've got this. You know what you value. You know what the people in your life value. You know how to take care of yourself, right? So you don't crash and burn there, and you don't get worn out. So, but again, I want to warn about emotional immaturity here and toying with other people's feelings and emotions. You really want to watch for that, okay? If you're not interested in someone and they're asking you, be honest about it, okay? Because this is going to bite you in the butt if you're not, okay? Because what happens here is this becomes instability, and eventually it becomes betrayal, right? This is the paper trail of the Bravo channel, right? So we just want to be watchful of that. I think today is a great read. I know this was a little bit long-winded. I know we've got 5 planets in retrograde. Okay, this is why I'm saying this. The Six of Cups is not, let me repeat this, it is not an ex coming back. If they do, they're gonna, you know, that's why I touched on the emotional. You need to be honest with people and not play with them, okay? Because I've never seen this card come back together with a relationship on that front. I'm not talking about couples that are going through issues right now. I'm talking about, you know, someone from the past coming back and all of a sudden we're like, oh, you know, that really was a great relationship. We're forgetting the health vest that also included, right? The Six of Cups really is a card to really just pull on in the winter months, right? And that's what it's actually one of the references is that, you know, in the winters of our lives, which means the shitty days, basically, right? We have our good memories to pull back on. That's what gets us through the real crappy days, right? So I threw this at you in a bunch of different ways. If you're on a relationship front, you really want to balance that. If it's a new relationship, right, you want to be honest with each other. If it's an established relationship, you need to be on the same page financially, right? If one side of you is a little bit wild and the other side is too constricted, you want to take the Seven of Coins, the middle ground, right? You want to be open to new things, but you don't want to take wild risks, okay? Like I say, we've got 5 planets in retrograde. I believe a few of them are shooting out and the Ferris wheel's going to start going forward again towards the end of the week. But at least through Wednesday, which is what this read is for, we want to be diligent about our money, right? Things are kind of not going as fast as we wanted them to right now, and financial issues may arise. So that's why I'm saying you want to just keep things in a balanced way. If you feel yourself getting angry, getting upset, if that rage is building on the inside and you're just not sure why, there's a lot of planets doing this dance that are, it's like a crapshoot, really. So you just want to pull on that Six of Cups and just think of a better time, and the day is going to pass. These retrogrades are all going to pass. I'm telling you, okay? I think Wednesday's a great day. I think that you want to just be diligent, be open, find joy in the things that you're doing on a day-to-day, keep your finances in check, and, you know, it's really a great day. It's slow and steady gets the worm, and it's just enjoying all facets of your life, okay? Take time to smell the roses, guys. Honestly, life is short, and this is the only journey that we get here, okay? So enjoy it. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day.